Once upon a time, in the rolling hills of Bethlehem, there lived a young boy named David. He was not born a warrior. He was not raised in a palace. He didn't come from power or wealth. David was simply a shepherd. He spent his days out in the fields, surrounded by silence and sheep. The sun rose and set over the hills, and while the world seemed to forget him, David never forgot to sing. Out there, when no one was watching, he learned to fight lions. Out there, he learned to be faithful in small things. Out there, he discovered something many powerful men never find: a heart full of faith. Most people wait for big moments to act great, but David's greatness began in the ordinary. David never said, "This is just a small job." He never said, "No one sees me, so it doesn't matter." He cared for each sheep like it was the most important task in the world. When danger came, he didn't run away. He faced the lion. He faced the bear. He didn't do it because someone promised him a reward. He did it because he believed in doing what's right, even when no one is clapping. Many people want to be kings, but few are willing to be faithful shepherds first. David's attitude was simple but powerful. If I can't be faithful here, how can I be trusted with more? Every victory in the shadows was building a strength no one could see. One ordinary day, David's father asked him to deliver food to his older brothers who were serving in the army. David didn't know that this simple errand would change his life forever. When he arrived at the battlefield, he saw something strange. Two armies faced each other, but no one was fighting, because between them stood a giant named Goliath. He was huge, taller than any man David had ever seen. His voice thundered like a drum. Every day he came out and mocked the army, shouting, "Who will fight me?" And every day, grown men, trained soldiers, stepped back in fear. But David's reaction was different. He wasn't impressed by the size of the problem. He was surprised by the fear in the hearts of the people. Why was everyone afraid of one man? That's the power of attitude. When others saw a threat, David saw an opportunity. When others saw a giant, David saw a defeated enemy. David didn't keep quiet. He asked, "Why is no one fighting this man? Why should he be allowed to mock us like this?" His brothers rolled their eyes. They said, "You're just a shepherd. Go back to your sheep." But David didn't let their small vision shrink his courage. He knew something important. When your heart is brave, people will try to make it small. Don't let them. Word spread fast. A young boy was talking about fighting the giant. Soon, David stood before King Saul. The king looked at him and said, "You're just a boy." He's been a warrior all his life, but David answered with calm strength. He didn't talk about his age. He didn't list excuses. He said, "I've faced lions and bears, and I defeated them. I'll defeat this giant too." David didn't boast about his muscles. He spoke with confidence built in quiet places. That's another secret of attitude. Great courage is not born on the stage. It's built in the shadows. The king offered David a heavy armor, a sword, and a helmet. David tried it on, but it didn't feel right. He realized something wise. Greater than I don't need to copy someone else's strength. I must use what I know. So he laid down the sword and the armor. Instead, he picked up 5 smooth stones from the stream. Just a sling and faith. Goliath laughed when he saw him. He said, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" But David didn't argue. He didn't run. He didn't shrink. He lifted his head and said, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you with something greater." In life, giants don't always wear armor. Sometimes they look like fear, failure, doubt, or rejection. David didn't focus on Goliath's size. He focused on the target. One stone, one shot, one heart full of courage. He swung the sling, released the stone, and silence fell over the valley. The stone hit the giant's forehead. Goliath crashed to the ground. The boy who no one believed in, the shepherd with no armor, had done what warriors couldn't. That's the power of attitude. Greater than giants fall when your heart stands tall. The army that once trembled was now cheering. David became a hero overnight. But what's special is this. The victory didn't change his heart. He didn't become arrogant. He didn't forget the field, the sheep, or the quiet songs under the stars. He remained humble. Because David's strength was never in the crowd's applause. It was in the quiet faith he carried inside. David's life changed after that day. He entered the palace. People sang songs about him. But fame didn't make him forget who he was. While others let success climb to their heads, David kept his heart low and his vision high. He knew, greater than fame can make you louder, but character makes you last. He continued serving the king. He respected authority even when the king grew jealous. He never used his strength to destroy someone, only to protect. David was chosen to be the next king. But here's something many people forget. He didn't become king the next day, or the next year. He waited for many years. It's easy to be brave in battle, but it takes a stronger heart to be patient in the waiting. David didn't complain. He didn't say, "Where is my crown?" Instead, he kept growing, kept leading, kept trusting. His attitude was not built on a crown. It was built on character. Many people lose themselves in the waiting. David was shaped by it. Not every chapter of David's life was easy. He faced betrayal, pain, heartbreak, and even his own mistakes. But what made him extraordinary was this. He never let his failures define him. He always came back with a humble heart, ready to learn, ready to grow. David understood something that most people miss. Greatness is not about never falling. It's about how you rise after you fall. Finally, after years of hiding, running, and waiting, David became king. But he never forgot where he came from. He ruled with strength, but also with compassion. He led armies, but he still sang songs to God in the quiet of the night. He was a king, but his attitude remained a shepherd's heart. David's life is more than a story of a boy and a giant. It's a mirror for us. When no one is watching, your attitude is building your future. When others see problems, you can choose to see possibilities. When people doubt you, keep walking with quiet confidence. When success comes, stay humble. When waiting feels long, trust the process. When failure hits, rise again. David's strength wasn't in a sword or crown. It was in his heart. And that's something each of us can have. We may not face literal giants today, but we face giants of fear, failure, comparison, and self-doubt. When those giants rise in your life, you have a choice: to shrink in fear or to stand in courage. David didn't wait for someone else to fight his battle. He stepped forward with what he had, not with everything, but with enough. Sometimes your 5 stones might be your talent, your voice, your persistence, your faith, your heart, and that is enough. When you study David's story closely, you'll notice something powerful. He was a king long before he wore the crown. Because leadership isn't about a title. It's about how you show up in the field, in the waiting, in the battle. That's the secret. Greater than who you are when no one is watching is who you truly are. David's story isn't just a tale from the past. It's a timeless reminder. The world may count your muscles, your status, your bank account, but life rewards those who carry the right attitude. Faith over fear, humility over ego, courage over comfort, character over applause. Giants still fall when hearts stand tall. Maybe right now your life feels like a quiet field. No one is noticing, no spotlight, no crown. But don't despise your small beginnings. This is where strength is built. Maybe you're standing before a giant that seems impossible. Remember, the size of your heart matters more than the size of the problem. Maybe you're in a long waiting season, wondering when your moment will come. David waited years, but what was meant for him came to him. Yours will too. David's story is not about perfection. It's about attitude. It's about showing up when it's hard, singing when no one listens, fighting when others flee, waiting with faith when nothing moves, rising when life knocks you down. And if you carry that attitude, one day the giant will fall, the crown will come, and your story, like David's, will inspire many. Your victory doesn't begin the day the world sees you. It begins in the quiet fields where your heart learns to believe. So stand tall. Your giant is not bigger than your destiny.